with the Galio so that you can move around the map. I think if you are looking for an advantage, I'm just such a big fan of putting Rookie on something that can be so aggressive. And, you know, Talia Xin Zhao is game. I certainly think they're easier for Ninjas in Pyjamas to execute with the Leona and with the Galio.
Here comes Aki. He does have the ultimate available. The Shy again with no mana, so not going to be able to knock anybody away. He flashes away from his turret, and that could be bad news bears here. The Shy goes down, and it's first blood to NIP. This bottom side, Doinby going to join as well. Notably, on that top side play, Rookie threw out the Weaver's Wall, didn't end up actually taking it, and so this is going to be a big numbers advantage once again for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Mako's already dead. They go in onto Gala as well. It's a 2-for-1, but NIP will take that.
It's a major notch in Ninjas in Pyjamas cap.
Yeah, and so once we get back here to live, it will be JJ securing the dragon on the bottom side, but that means that NIP are going to get 5 out of the 6 grubs. Aki off to a pretty good start into this game, and we say once...
You know, on top of that, Invictus, I think, is looking a lot bigger picture. I can understand why they would personally prioritize the dragon stacking a little bit more. So we see Doinby take the top tower here in exchange for, presumably, the bot tier 1. Next wave at the very least, but you know, I think it makes sense for both teams to be able to make this exchange. I'm just interested to see if at any point Ninjas in Pyjamas are going to want to try and stop that dragon stacking, or if they're going to be more than happy to just try to play the side lanes.
Right now the side lane's working well for NIP. They have the Rift Herald as well if they want to try to break up.
Yeah, it definitely looks like something's happening here.
PP God's going in onto JJ, followed in by that Hero's Entrance with a nice seismic shove, finds 2 for Rookie. PP God in a lot of trouble. The Ignite's taking him down. He flashes away, should be able to survive, but no, the last tick from Mako ends up finishing the job. Now it's Shanji in a bit of trouble in a 1v4. Aki dashes in as well. He's untargetable for a little bit. Doinby doesn't find anybody with the taunt, and NIP now on the retreat. The Shy looking to try to continue.
To see Aki get a little bit more involved. It felt like they blew a lot of their cooldowns early on. We'll see if they're able to kind of repeat that performance here.
So now the dragon is up. NIP want to make sure that that soul point does not go over to IG. Some of those crucial cooldowns, though, just coming back up for Invictus. And so that means that they're going to go back in. Nice hook here from Mako. And they found Leave. That's Rookie picking up a huge chunk of gold. And that means that IG are going to be able to take this dragon easily.
Yeah, that's a fantastic pick coming in from both Rookie and Mako to be able to lock that up. This dragon is gigantic. Ninjas in Pyjamas look like they're going to try and siege down mid, but PP God too far forward.
Just went too far. Nicely done by Rookie to clear out the wave and make it a sticky situation for NIP. And all of a sudden, Ninjas in Pyjamas could be falling apart. Shanji now gets hit up by the seismic shove. He's going to use the public execution in onto the Shy. There comes Shanji in with Aki to finish off that kill. Another proc of the ultimate is available for Aki, but now Shanji's still in some trouble. He gets shoved right back in. That is another kill picked up for Rookie, and now Aki is the next target. Depth charge goes on top of him. He goes invulnerable, but only for a little bit longer. Hail of arrows dances down on top of him. He's got to continue to try to make those plays happen. We got Baron spawning in 30 seconds. NIP want to try to find a way to bounce back. They might be in some trouble here. Chain of Corruption lands here from Gala. It's matched up by a boatload of crowd control and the Shock Blast from over the top as well. Gala will pick up the kill as Doinby just dies for free.
He was in purgatory there. No chance to move, no chance to do anything. Perfect call out there on the Baron timer. We'll see if they want to go for it. And Fury potentially trying to pull back some damage here. Dragon won't be up for another 2.5 minutes. That's a very big pick, but he will be back up on the map in 25 seconds with ultimate. They're going to make a play. They have to do it now.
Nice buffer from Leave. Gets away here from that dredge line of Mako, and so it means that IG just have priority around the mid lane, but don't have any kill threat onto any of NIP's players. So another chunk of gold going right back to Invictus Gaming. SK-Man, we were waiting for them to become a little bit more active here in this game number 1, and they certainly have done so over these last few minutes.
Yeah, I've been so impressed with how they played out the second part of this mid game. The last, 5 or 6 minutes, this felt like a team that really was just slowly losing, death by 1,000 cuts, and they've been able to really pull back a lot of the advantages and a lot of the momentum that they needed to generate earlier on in the game. Rookie in particular has been excellent, but Jeja could be too far forward here. We'll see if they want to capitalize.
Oh, wow. Yeah, going very aggressive in onto Shanji, and the Weaver's Wall actually cuts the Mbessa off. Doesn't even get a chance to proc the ultimate. He's already dead. Rookie picks up the kill, and now Doinby is in a lot of trouble here. Could be matched here by Aki. He gets another reset on the ultimate, but it's still overall a 2-for-1 in favor of Invictus Gaming. Most notably, though, JJ is down, which means the Otacon could be a little bit risky, so instead, IG want to continue the fight. Depth charge lands. It's followed up by a beautiful engage from Rookie, and Leave will get taken down as well. Doinby and Aki now forced to run for the hills.
Situation for Aki. He's going to have to try to get in there. You cannot allow this Mountain Dragon, but it's going down low, and looks like they're just going to give it.
So risk assessment, not worth it. Most notably, PP God coming off a reset. He was not even... And they are looking dominant
it looks
here.
like this could just be full positioning coming in from IG in the Weaver's Wall.
Oh, Leave shifts over the wall. PP God and Shanji forced to go in. Knockup is huge, though, from Doinby. He lands a 4-man taunt, and NIP are right back into this fight. Aki dashes forward. The Shy is low, and the Shy will bleed almost to death. He's finally able to go down, but it's still a 3v3 on the map. Doinby barely gets away from the dredge line, and IG somehow make that an even fight off of the back of Gala of his own. However, the rest of NIP not here just yet, as that Otacon is ticking down. Teleport finally going to come in from Doinby. He has the ultimate up in 5. Otacon's at 3,000 HP. Aki jumps over the wall. It's going to be a flip. Who's going to get it? It's secured by NIP. And now, as the Blood Roses form, the fight continues to break out. A taunt finds Gala, and he's shut down by the Nefiri. Looking to go in on the Rookie next. Shanji is still massive on the front line, and NIP find the fight. They find the Otacon, and they'll pick up the Blood Roses as the reward.
A gorgeous fight from Ninjas in Pyjamas. So much setup and so much execution. You get Doinby teleporting at the perfect time. Aki getting into the Otacon pit at the perfect time to be able to secure it at around 700 health. I'd love to see where so much damage was coming from. I have to imagine Leave was just pumping out damage on the back half of that fight, but we might not have time. We're immediately into Baron.
Should be rather easy for NIP to pick up. Rookie has teleport in 20 seconds, but that Baron will be long gone before then. NIP, couple of mid-game fights, a couple of late-game fights, all they needed. And they suddenly have themselves the gold lead once again. The Shy trying to get a tier 2 turret in response, but likely will pay for it with his life as Shanji TP's behind him. Ooh. As the Shy going to try to make it a one-way trip. Nice accelerated shot blast, picks up PP God, but he will die in response. Shanji will dash forward with the E.
And from all 5 members, and it really has been a bit of an execution diff in the back half of this game.
And after some pretty bad positioning mistakes that led to IG getting fully coming into fruition, as Gala is really doing a nice job with these piercing arrows.
Yeah, and they are going to be first to start this Elder Dragon. NIP is still here, but PP God is a little bit low. Does make this engage a bit trickier. Galio still pushing down on the bot side. The ultimate is available. We are going to likely see it very shortly. We're going to see the call made. PP got so low, though.
Yeah, the Weaver's Wall is going to come out to try to separate people. Shanji dashes forward. It's going to be matched up by Doinby and knocks up 3, but there's not a lot of follow-up thanks to the Weaver's Wall of Rookie. And Shanji will go down first in the fight. PP God gets bursted down. Doinby's forced to go golden. IG are winning out on this one, man. A shutdown goes towards the Shy. Rookie's very low. JJ is as well. And Leave going forward. Leave has the chance to go crazy here in a 2v4. First engage will be on Agala. He's down. But now the hook lands. But it's not going to matter. Leave shifts over the wall. Leave's popping off. One more Mystic shot will do, but it does not find its mark on a Rookie. And so NIP will still have the numbers advantage. They still should make their way onto the Elder Dragon off of some heroics from Aki and Leave.
How is it possible that Ninjas in Pyjamas walk out of that fight being able to take this Elder Dragon? Things looked dire. PP God was at a quarter of his health bar at the beginning of the fight. Shanji goes in and hopes and prays that the Galio ultimate will let him
Aki's had himself a very good go of things, going towards that Guardian Angel for his last item. And so NIP with the Elder buff, going to start up this Baron Nashor. Now the Elder's only on a couple of players. Aki and Leave the only ones to have it, but those are certainly good members to possess the burn.
Yeah, it definitely feels like this should just be Ninjas in Pyjamas. There's no way to really contest this, but Jeja's going to try.
You're going to try to dash in there, but not going to have enough room. The sacrifice will be PP God, but it looks like Ninjas in Pyjamas want to continue the push. Onto the Shy they go with the knock-up landing. Public execution only onto 1, and so Shanji will potentially get bursted down, but there goes Aki. There's the Nefiri, and Leave and Aki once again are going to reign supreme, nearly winning the team fight by themselves. Now it's a 2v1. Aki still has the executes, and Rookie will not succumb, but JJ will, as Aki smites him from above.
Aki absolutely dominating. The dogs are barking here tonight. Nefiri has looked unstoppable so far today. And if you want to see a performance worthy of saying that a champion is imbalanced, you just saw it in front of your very eyes. Of course, you got to give credit to Aki, but the Nefiri, that fight looking disastrous for NIP, diving onto the backline and being able to destroy everyone with the damage that was output. The inhibitor will be the prize. Elder Dragon will be up again.
All right, G, they don't want to rule themselves out of this one just yet. They still have the Mountain Soul. They still have Rookie getting close to a field build on his own. They're going to have to play around the poke composition that they have set up for themselves, because right now in a full 5v5, they definitely can't do anything if it was an even game state.
Yeah, it's just a really difficult spot to be in if you're IG. Your entire comp relies on being able to have pressure and have tempo, to be able to poke out with things like Jason, Varus, and to be able to move around the map with Talia. You just don't have that option here, but they might have found a pick.
They find PP God. However, we matched by the hero's entrance of Doinby, so once again, in a 4v5, NIP want to go for the kills. Public execution comes in. Shanji gonna get knocked up with a really nice step charge. Aki in some trouble now. Aki forced to flash away, and now IG winning the fight. 2 already go down. And Gala picks up the big... They are having that numbers advantage for another 30 seconds. The Shy, the Gala continue to issue on that poke. Teleport comes in from Rookie. They're going to try to burst down this mid inhibitor. Don't think it should be the end of the game, given that Aki and Leave are the ones alive, and they're the strongest members of Ninjas in Pyjamas, but that is a big turnaround here for Invictus Gaming. They still are down 7,000 gold. They check just a little bit of the True Shot Barrage, comes out and actually burns away all those Mountain Dragon shields. More poke comes out. Leave with the Mystic Shots now can issue some firepower back on his own. The Elder Dragon is alive, but nobody wants to start it up just yet. Battle lines have been drawn. NIP looking to engage. PP God finds the initial start of the team fight, and that is Gala getting bursted down. Sorry, the Shy is the one who dies first in the fight. PP God gets knocked up at 3-talent strike. The target now being Leave, but he flashes away. And now a numbers advantage in for NIP. Leave still doing so much damage here with these Mystic Shots. Doinby dashing away. As JJ is still alive, the Elder Dragon's still up. I don't think NIP are going to want to flip this, but here they go. They start this one up.
They're starting it. I can't believe that they're starting it here. This is a true flip coming in. A very risky move as we see IG actually have priority here. Aki's at half health.
This is where Gala can try to do some work here. The piercing arrows before the fight could begin. A teleport has come in. It is going to be Doinby rejoining the fight at full HP. As the Elder Dragon not reset just yet. Still a 4v5. The Shy respawning in 18 seconds. He's not going to be a factor here. PP God, the first to get engaged upon by Mako. The Elder's at 6,000 HP. JJ looking to go back in. PP God gets poked down to oblivion. And now another hook lands on the Shanji. He's forced to dash away. Elder's at 2,000. JJ steals the Elder. And now Doinby is going to be at the mercy of Invictus Gaming, and the Elder Dragon burns. Leave shifts forward, picks up one. Aki and Leave still so big, but the Elder is going to reign supreme. There's another Unraveled Earth. There is Gala picking up a 1,000 gold shutdown, and Invictus Gaming somehow come back. They steal away the Elder Dragon, and they are going to march into the mid lane with super minis to try to take game 1.
And just like that, one bad engage, one mistake, getting poked out a little bit too much at the beginning of a fight. It costs everything for Ninjas in Pyjamas. They're sieging down the Nexus turret. Shanji by himself in the base. He is not going to be enough with the Elder buff, and a game that looked like it would be a guaranteed win for Ninjas in Pyjamas. They're up 3k gold right now as their Nexus is destroyed.
Back and forth we went. That is classic LPL gameplay for you. As IG, in what I think was an over...
Quite a few options. Not only do I think they should have priority in a lot of these lanes, Sion is generally going to be fine on the top side into Renekton. You're not super worried about that. I like the way bot lane is...
Leave, or even a frontline member like Shanji can make a fight really easy if you're IG.
Yeah, I think... So we see more aggression coming in on Mako here, actually.
Oh, he actually flashes away to try to get Lee stunned up into the wall. One more double up, and Gala picks up first blood. PP God with the crash down, going to try to burn Gala down as Aki, the first juggler here in the fight. The Eep comes down, and it makes it a 1-for-1. It's a little bit faster, and now JJ has a chance to potentially match with a play on the top side. Really nice steadfast presence from Mako to prevent Leave from valking away, and that should almost assuredly be the kill. The Shy, the one to pick it up.
Yeah, they are
that Dragon going over to NIP, so maybe a slight consolation.
They just wanted to try to get to their power spikes. Ninjas in Pyjamas have maybe not been as aggressive. I say that, though.
Yeah,
they are in the
comes
mid
Doinby
lane.
between worlds. LPL comes out, and that is Aki.
He's staying in the area. Jeje might try to look to flip this, but it is going to be a disengage. I got concerned that Ninjas in Pyjamas were looking there.
Ooh.
Didn't think that was a good opportunity.
Well, the Poppy is burning. Will it be enough? There's the flash, and that will be the Feat of Warfare secured by Ninjas in Pyjamas. And now the Shy has the Dominus Pop, but he's now fighting a 1v3. He slices and dices to safety and will get out with his life. And they're going to have first move as Gala and Mako are here first. Shy also crashing a wave in, and with Shanji going back to base, we'll see how much NIP want to contest it. Teleport does come out. PP God looking for the engage, stuns up JJ first. There's the bang into the wall, and the impale, and that's the big carry down for NIP.
PP God!
Aki is shut down. PP God goes in for a massive engage. Mako, though, with the Keeper's Verdict, will yeet one right to back out, as Shanji is now going to have to run back to try to save his team. Peel for Doinby and leave. The decimating higher impact for Gala and IG over leave in that engage, as you say. So the Dragon has been spawned once more. Both teams have one apiece, but I think NIP this time would rather focus their resources elsewhere. Shanji hitting on that top side tier 1 turret. Leave should be able to get the tier 1 down bottom as well. And so with that Dragon...
These objectives come up. We'll see if Invictus can actually take advantage of some of that, because there was quite a few resources expended, but as we get closer and closer to that vision and get rid of it, looks like it's going to be going down.
Yeah, it looks like Mako's ultimate is canceled by the unstoppable onslaught of Shanji, and here we go. Doinby dashes in, then dashes right back out with the Between Worlds. Dragon at 4,000. Aki flashes forward. The Lilting Lullaby only lands onto Rookie, but it pushes all of IG away. JJ doesn't want to get into the pit. He doesn't want to flash in, and so will be secured here by Ninjas in Pyjamas, and now they're looking for more. Rookie forced to flash away. Aki unstoppable here in this front line, looking to try to burst him down. Doinby takes down Mako first, and IG are now on the run, but here comes the Impale.
Shockwave!
Gonna be able to do a lot of damage here as well. The Shockwave comes out from Rookie already, and now the Shy is still alive. He lands a stun only on a PP God, and finally the bullet time comes out.
Potential bullet time ultimate, but and we immediately come back to Gala falling.
Yeah, Shanji with the ulti just takes him down underneath the turret. Now a numbers advantage for NIP, although Leave is low. The Shy in some trouble now as he was trying to go for a flank, has to pop the dominance, but it's just not enough. Leaves picks up another kill. They're going to burn down this mid lane tower, and that's a big swing of things for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Potentially as well.
Oh, Mako, he sends Leave away. Makes a 4v4 at least for a little bit. Doinby targeted here by Mako, as in goes JJ as well with the Ixtal's impact. Shockwave finds two, but only onto Aki and PP God, and they don't die too quickly. The Otacon first takes down PP God. Teleport comes in from the Shy. He's looking to join the fight. Otacon at half HP, and now IG are the ones who are going to be able to control it.
That was a brilliant Poppy ultimate coming in from Mako. Completely lets Invictus establish pressure by getting Leave out of that situation. It means there's no damage coming in from this. Yeah, this is scary here. If you are Invictus Gaming, you leave the misfortune on the Dragon to be able to take it, but you lost your Otacon buff. This is no longer an advantage for Invictus Gaming. You have no AD carry here. You're going to try to get NIP off of this, and you will successfully be able to do so, but make sure you don't overstep. And overall, it is still just Dragon for nothing. You know, at the end of the day, it's what we expected the trade to be, but potentially see another dive here from Jeje. Nothing to see, though.
Yeah, looks like Mako with the ulti. There's really not much to fight over, though, so I can't imagine either side being super willing to go for anything unless they're just feeling antsy.
Well, in IG in particular, they really have no reason to try and engage here, but they're going to look for it anyways.
Hey, why not? Here goes JJ. We're going to fight for the blue buff now. Aki pops the Zanyas early. He should be targeted. He uses the flash. Lilting Lullaby only lands onto one, and he burns before the sleep. He can't even connect. In comes Shanji, though, with the unstoppable onslaught. Will it be enough? There's the bullet time coming out for Gala. Not going to lock down a target just yet. Leave. Still untouched. He's got himself a double kill. Rookie going to try to lock down PP Guy. That will be the trade. Overall, 2 for 2 with Leave hoping. Dragon now up and available and could be for the taking if it's IG.
Yeah, it's so risky to try and find an opportunity to get in here, but we're going to see if it's made. PP God.
Immediate engage. The Shy just goes a little bit too far forward. The Shy is down. It's going to be matched here by the Impale. Only onto PP God. They will be able to take the Rel down most likely, but there's not enough damage on him just yet. He's living for so long and actually chunks Gala out a little bit in the meantime. Leave throwing out those rockets, and now is it a 4v4 support for top laner in favor of NIP in terms of the numbers and in terms of the strength currently on the board. So onto the Dragon they go. It's at 4,000
burning
HP.
down.
JJ has no way to get into the pit, and it's going to be secured here by NIP. And now they're looking for the fight. Leave dashes in on the Rookie, force him to use the shock wave. defensively, and the sleep will land on the 2. That's Gala going down. That's 4 kills for Ninjas in Pyjamas as Leaf picks himself up a double kill into Baron Nashor they go.
Leave and Aki, they have gotten online for the 2nd game in a row and are once again able to establish a ton of pressure, a fight that looked like it could be a little bit dicey. They're able to pick up the Shy early on with a nice engage from PP.
And that caused all the chaos that made IG end up in a pretty bad position. So that's the Baron, now in the hands of NIP. They're up about 2,000 gold at this point. Going to want to try to burst that one open a little bit more. The tier 2 should go down. As Doinby dashes up. IG, they just need to find that moment, but they haven't had it just yet.
Yeah, this is a tough play to play for IG. You're hoping and praying that somebody oversteps, because really, again, they still have the Wombo combo. As much as they are down in resources, they're only down 3k gold, and these are pretty easy, squishy targets to blow up if you can land a Skarner ultimate. You can't make a mistake if you're Ninjas in Pyjamas, but if you're IG and they're playing safe, it's really difficult to punish from this position.
More towers being taken. IG easily, defended or countered by what NIP have to offer. And so with the Baron buff expired, it still is Shanji and the rest of NIP actually going forward. Once again, forcing the initiative and separating Rookie from the rest of the team. He's in a lot of trouble, but he is able to get the shockwave. Onto Doinby, followed up here by Mako. Full time though, not finding much, as Gala is just so exposed with the way that the team fight has now been set up. That's all the crucial ultimates down. PP God finds a big Magnus Storm. And now, this is NIP's turn to go for a big play. Sleep lands onto JJ. Mako forced to low HP. Gala is down as Doinby picks up the kill. Leave is in trouble, but Leave will not fall as he'll get the kill onto the Shy who tries to dash in on top of him. Mako will burn down. And that's the game. We are headed to a decider between NIP and IG.
Everything you've been leading up to, Graves, it all came to fruition in that team fight. The disconnect coming in from Invictus Gaming, not being able to play on the same front. Rookie immediately gets disconnected from the entire team as we see them tearing down the base here. Jeja has to go and save him, and that leaves Gala exposed. Looks like they are going to be able to pick up the kills here on Rookie and on Jeja. That's going to be the game for game number 2. Beautiful stuff from NIP.
Generally, though, they're focused on picks, with things like the Jhin and the Sylas in side lanes, and the Maokai even throwing setups up and side laning, whereas IG...
Use a flash, and you use a flash. It's a lot of summoner spells, and it's heal burned by Mako as well. A lot of resources expended, and the play's not done!
Rookie. He's got no flash, and he's got no life! It's Aki picking up first blood. With a really big CS lead early on in this one. It's 16 in their favor.
Yeah, we do see the Dragon going down, but significantly different timer behind. It's a full completed Triforce for this Nidalee. The start's gone. Yeah, this is first turret down. All 5 plates. The Shy is in such a dominant position in this game. You had to know you were opting into this matchup if you were Shanji, but this lead continues to grow. It's about a 35 CS lead and all 5 plates and first turret for the Shy. So definitely enabling him going forward, but Dragon has spawned. That definitely looks to be the next objective to bring up for both of these teams. Invictus is obviously in a much better spot to be able to fight this out. Not only do they have a lot of damage going for them, but look at the gold difference. He's a full 1,200 up on anyone else in the game.
Now here's the thing, though, is that when the Shy's not in a fight, NIP actually are on even footing in terms of gold. So that is where they're going to have to try to focus their resources, especially as this Dragon has been started up. Doinby trying to go forward. Gala already at 500 HP, but now the Shy has joined the fight. Nature's Wrath comes out. It'll try to lock down members of IG and force them away as the Dragon is secured by a Ninja's Gala in the mid lane. And right now, Aki only using that ultimate a couple of times so far in this game, and he's going to try to at least force something here on the Rift Herald, as not everybody on IG is really here to respond. Also, with the Shy taking a timer to go mid, it actually allows for Doinby and Shanji to take the entirety of this tier 1 turret. So a couple of good plays going towards NIP.
Would be big for NIP to gather this. That's one of the ways they can offset their lack of immediate damage in the late game, is just entirely through Soul here because it's Infernal. And so it really does help out a lot. But we can see Aki potentially being the target here.
And it's not enough follow-up just yet, as Gala is still separated, as we actually get to see the Shy getting focused down by Shanji in the 1v1.
Oh,
Flash follows. Is that going to be enough to take him down? One more E should kill him. He heals up, but will smack him down with a Q, and he'll immediately teleport mid lane to join the fight. IG now going to be fighting a 4v5. They might have to give up this Dragon up. That was entirely done by Shanji.
That is a gigantic play from Shanji. The Rift Herald going to get dropped just maybe as a bit of a distraction here as it goes mid lane, but priority still going to NIP on this Dragon. There's no way to contest this if you're Invictus Gaming, and it's not just a kill on the top side. That is a ginormous shutdown going over to Shanji. So much gold in his pocket, and we could potentially be seeing, I would say, a fight here, but not really a ton to fight for. But that, you're right, 3 dragons, but very intrigued to see the Otacon priority here from Invictus. It does look like it's just going to be Jeje and the Shy trying to take this down. Rookie, of course, making his way up, but we can see a potential collapse coming in from NIP.
Big spikes on the big carries for IG as well. Gala just picked up his Flicker Blades, as well as Rookie, who has 2 items. Looks like that Otacon is just bursting down really quickly. NIP, I feel like they barely even knew this was happening. The Blue Ward just comes out way too late. The Prio will instead be here onto this mid lane tower. They send Doinby in to try to take it down. We also see Shanji pushing down to the bot lane, but now there's false lives on everybody for IG for a potential fight around the Dragon Soul that would go to NIP if they pick it up.
Yeah, that's a massive get for IG. A really nice play there. Jeje and the Shy just being very confident in starting it basically on spawn. And no real answer, but we see a teleport coming in, potential flank.
Here's Rookie. He has a lot of damage here. He dashes underneath the turret, playing with his life because he knows it's just a false one that takes PP God down. And with the Dragon spawning about a minute and change, it's a big pick to set up vision around the bottom side.
Yeah, that's the kind of pick that I think this team needs to be making. Quite frankly, that's the kind of pick that I think Ninjas in Pyjamas have needed to make for a little while, but it's a really nice play, very heads up. It's a nice use of the teleport there from Rookie. Should have more than enough time to be able to get back for this fight, and just getting more gold onto the people that need it, of course.
Caught out by Jeje. Remember, still the Otacon revives available as Doinby throws out the stolen away Sejuani ulti, looking to do a little bit of damage here. Takes Jeje down, which will send him back to base, and he will still be alive, but that will mean that he will be late to this Dragon spawning. NIP still looking to scrap here. Doinby flashing forward here with the Abscond Abduct. PP God following up. NIP going wild here to try to find an engage. They could find another as Mako will drop, but it gets traded back as Aki is now dead. Just the false lives available, but NIP are running away with this one as Gala has to flash out. Everybody on IG will still be back alive. Rookie in the mid lane, hitting onto this mid lane tier 2, and most importantly, the jungler for NIP is down, which means they cannot play for this Dragon.
I would say it's a good play for NIP, but at the end of the day, it's really not. You're basically losing your tier 2 mid for nothing. You're able to pop a lot of those false lives, like you said, but no way to capitalize because your jungler is down. Rookie's going to be able to easily make his way here after taking that mid lane tier 2, and it's the soul going to be delayed by Invictus. You know, this is the huge strength of Otacon. This is the reason that this objective is so prioritized in the current meta, why it felt so important for Jeje. Should have called it off, and it's that over-eagerness, but Baron is up, and we could potentially be seeing some priority here.
Wow, IG going to start this one. Force Shanji to try to move as he's already hitting onto this bottom lane tier 2 turret. Will he teleport in to join a 5v5, or will he just continue the split push? Teleport is going to be the answer here. But the Baron's already taken down very low. Going to be over the wall. Who's going to go into the pit? It's going to be secured by Jeje, and the fight has begun in earnest. Going to be steals away the quickness, going to try to just run away for now. Force shot does not go onto a crucial target. Shanji hitting onto the Shy. The W from Leave not going to land. No kills just yet in this one, and a lot of key ultimates already have been used. Both sides are going to back off, and IG get away with highway robbery.
It's Baron 0 for 0. It's the dream scenario for Invictus Gaming. They're able to get
damage. I think maybe the entirety of the turret ended up going down. I don't see the minimap exactly, but I'm sure that's why we're seeing this replay. During that entire Baron fight, the tier 3 turret was taken in the bottom side, so that is an opening maybe for Shanji to find some more split pushing, but it's not going to be for a while as the Baron buff is still in the hands of IG for the next 90 seconds. Aki's going to have to go for a play. Finds twisted advance onto Rookie. He has to go golden, uses the Emperor's Divide to push that IP away. And I think that should be it. The Shy teleports in just for a little bit of a reinforcement. But the stolen Sejuani ultimate only finds Mako. Maiden will go down as IG will begin another push.
Yeah, that's so many resources burned by NIP, and just to keep them off for one wave, it's very difficult at this point to really imagine a world. And I know we haven't talked about it much, but that's an almost 80 CS lead for Rookie in the mid lane.
3,000 kills with Rookie, or sorry, 3,000 gold, not 3,000 kills. Otherwise, the game would be long over.
Yeah, that's less than 15 minutes.
Rookie's the main beneficiary behind all of this, right? He's very, very rich. They're able to pick up the second dragon and prevent the soul for another 5 minutes.
Don't really see any reason for Ninjas in Pyjamas to try and take a fight, but as much as we talk about IG getting further and further ahead, 2 kills to 2, you know, a 2K gold lead, but as I say
They've already found the Shy. He's forced to jump away. Now it is going to be another kill taken down as Mako will fall. Finally, the feat of warfare secured for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Yeah, I mean, everything is all up and dandy for IG, so you're not too concerned. This isn't a game-throwing kind of mistake, but this one could be.
Again, caught out. This time the Shy doesn't have the flash.
My God.
And Leave will just shut him down. I don't know how he got caught out there once again, as now the curtain call is going to push Mako and Gala back. Tier 2 now going to be the focus.
Yeah, and it's not just tier 2. Baron is spawning in 15 seconds. The Shy is down for 42. It's a 4v5 on the map right now, and NIP have full control over what they want to do here. They continue to push out the mid wave, but this Baron is theirs to determine what they want to do with. Absolutely no reason for the Shy to be that pushed up with no flash, and it could really cost Invictus.
He's just running mid lane, trying to go for a flank, I guess, like throwing out a Q for fun, and then he gets caught up by a trap. Really nice deadly flourish from Leave, and now it's NIP immediately onto the Baron. That's just gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
JJ doesn't want to go in and sacrifice his life for a potential 50-50, and so that is NIP getting themselves right back into this game.
That is the throw of all throws from Invictus. They were in such a good spot, and it all washes away in 2 plays. We see Jeja and Aki, running into each other here. I don't imagine this turns into much more, although Aki could be by himself. He flashes over the wall, trying to get to Doenby.
Just trying to escape. He gets charmed up, though, as there comes JJ with the Glacial Prison. Gala and Rookie are here, dashing forward onto the Maokai. The tree will get cut down, and so that's one trade back that IG can be happy about. But they are facing off. But the curtain call is going to force IG back with the Dragon spawning in 5 seconds. Once again, Soul on the table for NIP if they can pick it up. They send Shanji with the Baron buff and the Maiden down the mid lane, and will instead look to try to just stop the recalls here for IG. Steal not in the works, as it will be the 3rd Infernal picked up for Invictus. But now they have to escape. JJ and Rookie dash over the wall. Mako falls with the grand exit, and now they're just going to try to stop the backs. Doenby chasing forward with the stolen away quickness. The Shy going to be the target, gets hit up by the Abstando Duck. Meanwhile, Shanji still hitting onto the mid lane inhibitor turret. Everybody on IG running for the hills, and NIP are looking to stop him right now. Deadly Flourish connects onto the Shy, and then Italy will get shut down. Inhibitor taken mid. Finally, Rookie able to get back to base, but NIP playing this macro beautifully, and now the bot lane inhibitor can be the next target.
Yeah, this is as perfectly played as you could possibly ask for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Rookie takes forever to get back into the base because at no point can he recall. It's a 4v5.
The ult is at half HP. He gets crit up by Leave. Could this be the end of the game without a full team fight ever taking place? The first Nexus Tower is down. Shanji is still really big with the Maiden. Not taking a single tick of damage so far. Finally, they will force the ultimate down, and NIP will have to walk away. But they do take the entirety of a Nexus turret, and it seems like they're not done yet.
Back.
Leave, looking to try to shut down JJ. One more 4-shot, might be able to take him down. He goes back into the fountain. There comes the Azir turret, going to try to keep IG's base alive. They have not gone for the fight. They will have to pull the trigger at some point. Finally, they do. Doenby will shove JJ back. Mako dashes away, still not going to die. The Nexus is exposed, and NIP can just hit it. They could just win the series right here, right now. Rookie dashing forward. The Shy is respawned. Glacial Prison goes wide, and now here comes the Shy.
Mako!
Knockup lands in. Doenby will fall, and IG will hold the line. On that right around that bush.
Yeah, this is such a scary situation for Invictus because one wrong move, one pick off, and the game is over. Jeja is going to have to be the only one who can walk up here, but the ult's going to go wide.
It hits my fridge. Deadly Flourish goes in onto the Sejuani. JJ goes down. It's a shutdown picked up for Leave. And now Gala is going to try to do some work here. Knockup gets canceled. Shanji picks up the kill. And IG might be cooked here in this team fight. The Shy is down. Only Rookie's alive. And there's no way he can 1v5 this one. He's going to try to clear out the wave using the Emperor's Divide. But it is sure to cost him his life. He will fall. The kill goes over to Leave. 720 gold, just the icing on top of the cake as NIP. I think they have done it. A wave is pushing in on the bot side. Both Nexus Towers have a respawn, but the death timers are far too long. This is sure to be it.
This is a gigantic victory for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Look at the expression of Doenby. Look at the expression of Leave. Everyone on Ninjas in Pyjamas, you can see just how much this means to them, but they're stuck in base right now. They need to wait for some time there, but the Nexus is eventually going to get exposed, and Ninjas in Pyjamas with the 2-1.